Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of May 11, 2015. Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Palella?
Here.
Dixon?
Here.
Givens? Here. Hannon?
Present.
Harrison?
Present.
McLean?
Here.
Mowry?
Here.
O'Brien?
Present.
Pape? 8 present.
8 members present. This time, please stand on the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. Tonight, before we come out, we had executive session, May 11, 2015, police personnel issues. This time, turn to the reports of the officials and the library report.
Good evening. My name is Christine. I'm the director of Your Public Library, where we provide services to inform, inspire, and enrich the community. We have a couple good programs going on in May that I'd like to tell you about. The first is Let's Talk Medical Ethics. We will have 2 ethics experts at the library on Tuesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. To talk about how doctors learn ethics, what is ethics, medical ethics, also how an emergency can affect ethical decision making, also talking about end-of-life directives and what your family should know. This program is in conjunction with the annual One Book, One Community program. This year the book is 5 Days at Memorial, which talks about what happened during 5 days of Hurricane Katrina at a hospital in New Orleans and some of the decisions that they had to make that called ethics into question. On Tuesday, May 19th, I don't want the cold weather again. Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m., we have a documentary screening of Under the Umbrella Tree. This film was made by a few natives of Mount Lebanon, and it discusses the plight of children in Uganda, and particularly one woman's efforts to help bring children out of those situations. Oftentimes they are orphans, they're forced to work or worse. So it documents her fight for these children and their rights. On Wednesday, May 27th at 7 p.m., we have a program on identification and analysis in old photographs with guest speaker Candace Buchanan, who is a photo archivist. She will help you understand the basic skills that go into identifying photos, particularly from the 1840s to the 1920s. Oh, a really fun program. 3-part drawing class, Introduction to Drawing with Steve Corpa. Steve Corpa was a art teacher in the Pittsburgh public school system for many, many years. He is now legally blind. He has macular degeneration. He doesn't have central vision. But he still draws and he teaches. I actually took a class from him last year and really learned a lot. So it's free, 3 parts, Wednesdays, May 13th, 20th, and 27th at 11:30 at the library. Beginning the first week of June, our summer reading programs begin for all ages, birth through however old. So watch out for more information on that. And I'd like to invite you to the Bethel Park Community Night at Consol Energy Park on Saturday, June 20th at 7:05 as the Washington Wild Things take on the Frontiers. This is a joint program between the Recreation Department and the library. 50% of ticket sales will go to the respective departments, and ticket order forms are available either at the Recreation office or at the library. The library will be closed on Sunday, May 24th and Monday, May 25th in honor of Memorial Day, and then the library will be closed on Sundays throughout the summer through Labor Day. Just a quick update on fundraising. We hosted our book sale the first weekend in May. I want to thank Susie Dolinar and the Public Works guys for helping us in getting the tables here and set up and hauling all our books out of storage so that we could sort them. We made approximately $2,500, and all of our leftover books went to the Goodwill, so they all went to a good cause. So that is my report for this evening.
Any questions from council? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We turn to the police chief's report, and Chief O'Connor.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Good evening, folks. Chief Tim O'Connor with our May Council meeting update. We are going to have summer picnics, graduation parties, and proms approaching, and we are trying to urge everyone to not drink and drive if they're attending these events. This is Police Memorial Week. This week was set aside in 1962 by President Kennedy to honor fallen police officers. On May the 15th, which is Friday, it is Police Memorial Day, and we are going to have a brief wreath-laying ceremony and a bagpiper at our fallen officers monument in front of the police station at 12 noon. Everyone is invited to attend. It will be a brief ceremony. Our next Crime Watch meeting will be Monday, June the 1st, 6:30 p.m. at the Community Center. In addition to our usual program format, we're going to have a guest speaker from the Center for Victims of Violent Crime. An advocate will be there to talk about violence and domestic violence. All are urged to attend. And I don't think I have anything else. That concludes my update for the month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. We turn to the Fire Chief's report and Chief Gerber. We thought you were going to cook some burgers for us.
I was hoping. I've been getting text messages wondering if we got a free gift for the new station tonight. So. Good evening. My name's Dave Gerber. I'm the fire chief here in Bethel Park. For the month of April, the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company ran 39 total calls. We ran 4 structure fires that were out of town, 2 vehicle fires, 4 miscellaneous type fires, 4 natural gas leaks, 3 vehicle accidents, 5 odor investigations, 1 water main leak, 2 sets of wires down, and 14 false alarms, totaling 39 calls for the month of April. I was asked by the members of the fire hall to remind everybody. I know donation notices and letters have gone out, I believe in April, if not late March. I forget exactly when they went out, but we get a lot of questions right now every year since, for the last couple years anyway, since the tax money started. Try and explain it again. I know I explain this all the time, but for anybody who doesn't know, the tax money that you're paying is going towards the new building that we're building down on Brightwood Road. And with that money, it's also going to help maintain and upkeep the other 2 stations on Milford Drive and Clifton Road. With that money, it's paying for the bond for the new building. It's paying for the electricity, water, sewage, all that kind of stuff for the other 2 stations and stuff at this point. But it's going for the buildings. That's it. It doesn't buy us any equipment or anything like that. What your donation money does pay for is for our vehicles. Right now we have a $12,000 a month vehicle payment for the fire truck that's going on. We're looking to go out and buy another fire truck probably in the next 2 years or so to replace the next one in line. It'll be 25 years old at that point. So your donations go towards paying that. They also go towards paying for the equipment and stuff that we use. We were just out in Indianapolis the other week looking towards new air packs. In another 2 years or so, our air packs will be in the area of 15 years old. They'll be out of date. We're going to have to start working on replacing them and stuff. With that, I got 65 air packs at $7,000 a piece. We're looking at close to $500,000 to replace that stuff. Your donations help pay for all that stuff and all that equipment that we use. All the other equipment and stuff that's on all the fire trucks and everything else we use comes from your donation money. So please, if you can and you're willing to donate, please donate. It's still helping pay for stuff. As I said, your tax money is paying for the new building and the other buildings that we have and that run out of. So with that, I hope that explained that better. If not, please feel free to contact us, and we're more than happy to try and answer any questions you have about how that money's being spent and what we're using it for and all. So next thing on the list, anybody who's been watching WTA News, there's been a bunch of reports on the news lately about volunteer fire departments. I just want to try and clarify some stuff from our end of it so that you know what kind of service you're getting from us, your volunteers. The first thing they started on was response times and things getting on there. If you look up our response times, Bethel Park's Volunteer Fire Department works very close with Chief O'Connor and his staff, the dispatch center and stuff downstairs. Our dispatch times vary greatly depending on what your emergency is. The police are normally on scene first with us, or for us, being that they're out on the road already. Most of the time we have people coming from home, from work, or from wherever. So it takes a couple minutes to get people to a station, get in a vehicle, and get moving and stuff. Our response times, like I said, vary greatly depending on what type of emergency you have. If you have something where the police tell us it's a false alarm, we're not running lights and sirens. I got vehicles that are up over close to $1 million. I don't think that we need to be running lights and sirens as something that's already been told false. We always show up to your door, normally when you call us. If you have some type of emergency or you call us, your alarm company calls us or whatever, to get some information from you, just showing you that we're here. I need your name and stuff for the report for in the computer and stuff. But as I said, if you look at our response times, they don't give you all that information on the news reports of how fast things go. I'll give you a good example of how good our response times can be. We had a fatal fire up on Elm Street up in Coverdale several years back. We responded from the time we got the alarm till the time we were on scene and had the person pulled out of the house was under 7 minutes. I think that's fantastic timing from people coming from home that day. So, like I said, it depending on what your emergency is, how quick we get there. Don't always listen to what the news has to tell you. And the other thing was from WTA, they also had a thing on certified firefighters and firefighter training. I can tell you, everybody that joins the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company goes through a 200-hour training class to give them all the basics and stuff they know. Then from there, they can go on to any of the other trainings they want from any of the local fire academies. SHACOG has training classes and stuff that they put on continuously. We'll send them to anywhere that they need to go as long as it's pertaining to what we're dealing in. I always joke and say we're not going to send you to Hawaii for scuba diving classes because we don't have that kind of water here. But any type of fire class and suppression stuff, vehicle rescue stuff, all that, we will send you to training and stuff on. And lastly, the number of volunteer firefighters we have. If you look at our roster, we have in the area of 75 people on that roster. Unfortunately, we only have about 45 or so that are active members. A lot of guys are older, retired. We don't expect them to show up anymore. I don't necessarily know if anybody would want 93-year-old people showing up. But we do have some of those people that are still on the rolls that are retired and life members and stuff. So with that, I believe that we try and do our best to serve everybody and all. Don't always believe what the news has to tell you, unfortunately. If you have any questions about any of the training or anything we have to do, amount of members, if you would like to come and be a member of the Volunteer Fire Department, we would love to have you. Please look us up online at BethelParkVFC.com, or you are more than welcome to call the stations or stop down to Clifton Station down on Clifton Road every Monday night. That's where we start drill at about 7 o'clock. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. With that, one last thing, new building. If you've been down past the construction site on Brightwood Road, they are currently digging footers and pouring cement. I watched them pour some cement and stuff today for the footers. And I was told, and Jerry, shake your head no if I'm wrong, that they're supposed to start putting steel up in the beginning of July, I believe. So we're getting there. You can see them. They're very busy down there every day. Very neat to go down, for me at least, to watch and see what they're doing. And enjoy seeing and can't wait till next year when the new building is up. So with that, any questions?
Any questions?
We good?
Hearing none, thank you very much,
Thank
Chief. If we could turn to the mayor's report, and Mayor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a couple, actually I have 5 items tonight. And Paulette, are we doing, okay, that makes 6. The first thing I wanted to do was introduce our newest member of the municipal staff, and that is Ashley Moore. So I don't know if you could take a picture over there or not. Ashley is our new municipal planner, and she replaced Mike Smith, an easy name like that. Second thing I wanted to mention the farmers market. Actually started last Tuesday evening. This year, it's up at St. Thomas More upper parking lot. If you've gone past it, it's like a magnet that'll bring you in there. There's a lot of nice vendors up there, and it's Tuesdays from 3 to 7, and it'll go through the end of September, I believe September 29th. Also wanted to mention that last week, Public Works started putting up the military banners, and they'll be along Route 88 from the entrance, or where Bethel Park begins, Castle Shannon ends, all the way down to South Park, and then they'll be on South Park Road. Now, we have about 60 new ones that's going up, so give Public Works time. If you don't see your banner in a month, we should be able to locate it for you, but all the banners will be up by the end of May. The next thing I have is, would you want to do the grill? Okay, why don't this time I bring Paulette up, and when I walked out, I saw the grill there, then I remembered it was raffle night. So if you'd like to come up, explain the program, and we'll draw a winning ticket.
Hi, I'm the chairperson of the fundraising committee for Bethel Park Cable TV. And we've been trying to raise money for a scholarship program in conjunction with the Community Foundation for individuals in the community, be they a high school graduate or an adult living in the community who wants to go back to school and get some education. And all you need to do to apply is to have volunteer time. The applications are available online on our website if you want to get them. And I think this is a great program because there are a lot of people who are out there, they're adults, maybe they had some education beyond high school, maybe they didn't, but now maybe a program, maybe a computer program or a technical program would help them advance and give their families a better life. So I think this is a very worthwhile scholarship program. Last Friday night, we did a fundraiser, which was the Designer Bag Bingo. And we had a very nice response. We sold 118 tickets. We made about $3,000. We're still waiting on some of the money to come in, but we're in the vicinity of $3,000. We have this raffle coming up, and we're going to have a few other things between now and the end of the year. And we believe that we're going to reach our target goal. We have to have $10,000 in the bank before we can start giving out scholarships. And we anticipate getting to that level by the end of the year. Now, tonight, what I want to show you, what I brought tonight, we did the handbags for Mother's Day. This is for Father's Day, which is coming up in June. And this is a gas grill. It is electronic start. It has, I have to read the sheet for this. This has 32,000 BTUs and a total cooking area of 529 inches. It is a lovely piece of equipment. Now, I bought some tickets, and I'm really hoping I don't win because I'll have to learn how to cook. But it's well worth buying a couple tickets. They're only $1. And the drawing is going to be next month right here. In fact, the mayor's going to do the drawing for the winner. So we'll have this grill back here next week. You don't have to put it in your trunk. We'll help you get it home. But, and tickets are available. If you want to go buy a ticket tonight, you can go right across the hall to the library. The tickets are available at the library, at the front desk here, down at Cable TV, and out at EB Hardware. And I would like to say that EB Hardware donated this grill for us. I've been very fortunate this year. Last year when we did our zombie walk, there was just me and Dave Cable working on the project. And this year we formed a committee. We invited all our producers of programming on cable TV to participate, and a lot of them responded. And both this and the handbags were, handled completely by Christine and Elaine from the library, Andy Arneheim, Al Levine was there, and I just, Dave Cable was there. I showed up. I was supervising. It's the best job. And, but they really worked hard. They did all the work. They went out and bought the stuff that we needed. They did the posters. They ran the tickets. And I am so grateful for having people like them in our community who want to step up and volunteer. So don't forget to get your tickets sometime this week, tonight if you want to, like I said, right across the hall. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you. Well, since I didn't win the purse, I'll try for the girl.
Mayor,
I think the manager wants to submit his ticket. It's a little bit different than everybody else's, so remember that when you pick the number next month.
Put the tape on the side. At this time, I'd like to invite our friends up from EMS for a proclamation, please. This is a proclamation presented this 11th day of May 2015 to Tri-Community South Emergency Medical Service. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of the emergency medical team are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the emergency medical service team consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, emergency medical techs, paramedics, firefighters, first responders, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of the emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value of the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers, in particular Tri-Community South Director Nora Helfrich and her dedicated and highly skilled team by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Therefore, I, Jack Allen, Mayor of the Municipality of Bethel Park, along with Timothy Myrie, President of Bethel Park Municipal Council, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to the 23rd, 2015, as Emergency Medical Services Week, with the theme EMS Dedicated for Life. I encourage the community to observe this week in appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities given under my hand and seal of the Mayor of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, this 11th day of May, 2015. Phil, do you want to say a few words?
If you'd like.
Sure.
All right. I'll introduce the staff here. On the end is Gary Mutzel, one of our longtime paramedics, very skilled clinician. And then is Megan Meinert. Megan's also a paramedic, very smart, just in college or finished. I think she'll always be doing something. And Marlena Lewis, one of our EMTs, we're very happy to have her. She's very smart, kind of new to us within the last couple of years. And you probably actually even recognize the savvy veteran on the end, Mr. Bauer. And John, kind of one of our founding fathers. And if I may, listening to that, reading that, just brought me to mind something that pretty cool for us that we were notified in the last 2-3 weeks is we actually just for the first time earned the American Heart Association's 2015 Mission Lifeline Performance Achievement Award. It's kind of a mouthful, but basically what it boils down to, two organizations together, the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology, have put together criteria that you have to meet when you're taking care of a severe heart attack patient. So this isn't cardiac arrest trauma. This is, chest pain, heart attack symptoms that from the time of first medical contact, so in other words, the time that we first introduce ourselves to you, the first medical contact, until you're actually in a cath lab in a hospital and a cardiologist has opened that vessel, that has to all take place within 90 minutes. It has to take place within 90 minutes more than 85% of the time. And for the first time, we actually achieved that silver award status for 2014. And something I didn't realize, there are only 447 other EMS systems in the United States that reached that, and 62 in Pennsylvania. So we thought that was pretty cool. That's something new for us. Not quite as exclusive as the CAS accreditation, which we just finished a couple months ago, which is really puts us under the microscope, looking at all our policies, procedures, protocols, and such. And we're still waiting for the CAS board to get back to us. We've completed all that, and we expect to hear back renewing our accreditation here in a very short period of time. So that's kind of what's new with us. Thank you very much. Thanks for the recognition.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for all that you do 24/7, 365.
We're using EMS Week this year to start a campaign on distracted driving. Distracted driving has become an epidemic across the country. And so we're going to be presenting a program to the schools and to any organization that would like us to present the program on distracted driving and what to do to avoid being distracted while driving and how to drive safer. So if you would like a presentation to your organization, your group, please don't hesitate to call us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Bill.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Harrison.
I'd just like to say for the people that rely on the service they provide, and unfortunately, I've been in that position quite a bit lately. They do a professional, efficient, kind, gentle job. We couldn't ask for more. So I think we ought to appreciate them and thank them. Thank you very much.
I think we do.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I saved not the best till last, but I did save a good one till last. I wanted to bring up a young lady who I met a few months ago, and just listening to what she does and what she's done, I thought it would be a good idea to bring Charlie up and introduce her to the Bethel Park community. So if you want to come up, please. This is Charlie Donaldson. Charlie's a second grader at St. Gabriel's. She's also a Girl Scout, and believe it or not, she plays hockey for Sheha. Charlie is the National American Miss, which is an organization that's all about community service. In August of 2014, she was crowned National American Miss Pennsylvania Princess. She was the first runner-up in the national pageant in Disneyland over last Thanksgiving, and fourth runner-up is the national spokesmodel competition. And I just found out that this summer she'll be receiving the Bronze Presidential Award for community service later on this summer. And what I brought her up today to do was, we're teaming up with Charlie and the American Legion. She's doing a project with the library, and she's going to tell you about it, and then I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do with it. So if you want to say a few words.
Hello, my name is Charlie Donaldson, and I'm your 2014 National American Miss Pennsylvania Princess. During my year of service, I have made it my mission to make people smile more. I've worked with a bunch of groups, including Meals on Wheels, Race for the Cure, and Fallen Officers Remembered. Each had a different project that in some way would make that group smile. Currently, I am holding a car drive at the library for Operation True Appreciation. OTA is dedicated to our military, both past and present, who serve and sacrifice for our country. Please stop by the Children's Department of our library and make a card for OTA and to give a soldier a smile. I am your 2014 Pennsylvania Princess, Charlie Donaldson, and I want to touch the heart of the world and to make it smile.
Wait a minute, don't leave. Charlie. Charlie, come on back up. So what she's doing is she's making cards at the library and giving them to OTA, which is Operation Troop Appreciation. It's based in West Mifflin, and we will put those cards in care packages and send them to our troops in Afghanistan. So I think it's a great task that she's taken. In fact, last Saturday, she was with us at the American Legion, and we were putting flags on the cemetery graves for Memorial Day, and she was leading the pack. So having said that, congratulations and keep up the good work. And that's my report.
Thank you very much, Mayor. At this time, we turn to the approval of the minutes, and Mr. Hannon.
First item is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 13th, 2015. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of April 13, 2015.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of April 13, 2015. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. This time I'd like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr. Hannon.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls of the municipality per bill list number 051115 in the amount of $988,548.69.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 051115 and the amount of $988,548.69. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, we turn to the residents' comment section. For non-agenda items, state your name and address. You have a 3-minute limit. At the end of 2 minutes, we'll signify.
Thank you.
Wrap up your comments.
Mayor and President of Council and members of Council, I am Carl E. Denson, who resides at 2615 Santa Barbara Drive in Bethel Park. I've been a resident of Bethel Park for 74 years. Although the Denson family, my mother and father, 11 siblings, resided here since 1934. Presently, I also serve as chairperson of the Bethel Park Civil Service Commission, and I've greatly appreciated the respect and support of the Mayor's Office, Borough Council, which they have given me over the years of my service in this community and as a resident of Bethel Park. But tonight, I am standing here on behalf of Alma Gilliam family, for whose son, the late Armand Gilliam, a commemorative bronze play card, is in the process of being installed at the basketball court at Miners Park in Coverdale. My purpose is to express my gratitude for the council's willingness to install a play card on behalf of Mr. Gilliam. Further, I want to give special thanks to Councilman John Pape, who is the councilman for that ward, and for Paul Henney, the local funeral director. Mr. Pape's recommendation to install this play card helped to make this undertaking a reality. Mr. Henney contributed to it by giving his time as well as donating the funds for it. I want to say simply this: thank you for all the help that you have made the installation of this commemorative bronze play card a reality. Just want to let you know how I felt tonight, and we all know Armand Gilliam for years, and he was in professional basketball, so I just want to present that to you tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Denson. Are there any other residents like to speak? Hearing none, can we turn to general policy and finance and Mr. McLean? And we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Mowry. We have no agenda items this evening under general policy and finance.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items?
Mr. Mowry?
Mr. McLean.
I have one. I just want to note that the Home Rule Study Commission will be holding a public hearing on Tuesday, May 26th at 7 p.m. In this room in council chambers. We invite any members of the public to attend, provide us with any thoughts or ideas or questions you have about the Home Rule Charter that is currently under review. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Dixon? And we do not have any residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have several items under planning and zoning tonight. First application is number 20150087, Cool Springs Major Subdivision, Baptist Road, Ward 5. I move that we approve application number 20150087, Cool Springs Major Subdivision, Baptist Road, Ward 5, in accordance with the municipal engineer's correspondence dated May 6th, 2015.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve application number 20150087, Cool Springs Major Subdivision, Baptist Road, Ward 5, in accordance with the municipal engineer's correspondence dated May 6, 2015. Any discussion of this item? Hearing none, Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons. Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Dixon.
The next item is a resolution for a GEDF grant application, Community Parks Upgrade Project. I move that we adopt the resolution accepting the GEDF Community Parks Upgrade Project grant.
There is a motion and a second that we adopt the resolution accepting the GEDF Community Parks Upgrade Project grant. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Dixon.
Next item is an ordinance amending zoning ordinance defining and allowing housing for seniors. I move that we approve the amendment to the zoning ordinance modifying the regulations to define and permit housing for seniors as a permitted use in the R4 zoning district and as a conditional use in the C4 zoning district in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated May 7th, 2015.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the amendment to the zoning ordinance modifying the regulations to define and permit housing for seniors as permitted use in a R4 zoning district and as a conditional use in a C4 zoning district in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated May 7, 2015. If we could ask Mr. Duke if he could comment on this and the next three subsequent items, please, to give an idea of what we're going to be voting on this evening.
Well, this item is an application that was filed by a land owner who was seeking to have a definition defined within the zoning code, which would specifically have a definition for housing specific for those 55 or older in an apartment type complex. The applicant asked for the use to be permitted in the R4 and then subsequent the R5 zoning district as a permitted use, and then they asked for it to be used as a conditional use in the C4 office commercial district. The Planning Commission reviewed it and developed, worked with the applicant, and the code that is in front of you right now would enact that change in our ordinance. The other items, if you want me to talk about also, we have three other items that are related to another text change to the zoning ordinance, and that is regarding to cellular towers and antennas. The council, and understanding there's been some changes into the cellular tower industry and also the communication industry since our last ordinance was put together 10 years, 12 years ago. Now everybody has cell phones, and the whole industry has changed where they want to be closer to residents and communities, so that for the industry has changed. The council hired Cohen Law Group to work with the Planning Commission to come up with modifications to the codes to basically take in advance of the changes that are going to be happening with additional towers located within our community, to account for that, and also to try and work it so that if the tower is going to be in, they blend in better rather than sticking out. The first item that is going to be under that is actually the ordinance that is involved with making those changes. The second item is a resolution which establishes where on what streets it would be permitted as being mainly along the main roads within the right-of-ways. And then the third thing is actually setting the fees and the establishment of collecting fees for the permits and also for an annual ongoing basis of those antennas located within the right-of-ways.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Is there any other discussion?
Mr. Maury? I'm sorry.
Mr. McLean.
I just want to note for the record, as I did before at the public hearing, I will be abstaining from the vote on the ordinance amending the zoning ordinance defining and allowing housing for seniors due to the fact that my employer, the law firm where I work, provides legal services for the proponent of the ordinance. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Dixon.
I'm glad you asked Mr. Duke to explain this next item we're voting on, because when we amend the zoning ordinance to define and allow housing for seniors, it sounds like we're finally allowing seniors to reside in Bethel Park. And that's not the case at all. We're just creating some special housing allowances for seniors in Bethel, that's all.
I think this will accommodate Mr. O'Brien.
Yes, it will.
Okay, after any other discussion, Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Harrison? Yes. Klein?
Abstain.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Yes. Hannon?
Yes.
7-0, 1 abstention.
Motion passes 7-0 with 1 abstention. Mr. Dixon.
These next 3 ordinances are the ones related to the wireless facilities that Mr. Duke alluded to. The first one is an ordinance amending zoning ordinance with revisions for wire-based communication facilities and non-tower wireless communication facilities. I move that we approve the amendment to the zoning ordinance that modify provisions related to tower-based wireless and non-tower wireless communication facilities in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated May 7th, 2015.
There is a motion, a second, that we approve the amendment to the zoning ordinance that modify provisions related to tower-based wireless and non-tower wireless communication facilities in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated May 7th, 2015. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison? Yes.
Motion passes 8-0, Mr. Dixon.
Next item is a resolution for the collection of fees for wireless communication facilities. I move that we adopt the resolution authorizing the enacting and collection of fees related to the location, placement, construction, and maintenance of tower-based and non-tower-based wireless communication facilities.
There is a motion, a second, that we adopt the resolution authorizing the enacting and collection of fees related to the location, placement, construction, and maintenance of tower-based and non-tower-based wireless communication facilities. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0, Mr. Dixon.
The last item under planning and zoning tonight is another resolution for a map for identifying municipal roadway classification network for wireless communication facilities. I move that we adopt the resolution accepting a map identifying the municipal roadway classification network to be used to identify the permitted locations of tower-based and non-tower-based wireless communication facilities.
Second.
There is a motion and second that we adopt a resolution accepting a map identifying the municipal roadway classification network to be used to identify the permitted locations of tower-based and non-tower-based wireless communication facilities. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0, Mr. Dixon.
Mr. President, as I alluded to a moment ago, we have no other items under planning and zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare? And Mr. O'Brien,
Thank
we
you,
have no
Mr.
residents
Maury.
signed up to speak.
First item under Health, Safety, and Welfare, a resolution for disposition of records. I move that we adopt the resolution for disposition of public safety records in accordance with the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Society regulations.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt a resolution for the disposition of public safety records in accordance with the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Society regulations. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Mr. Murray, there are no more items under health, safety, and welfare, although I have a few.
Mr. O'Brien.
I would just like to take this opportunity to talk about our staff, our police, and our public works. When you have a request for service, and I've been observing how our staff, our police, and our public works respond. Sometimes the service requests are very involved. Sometimes they're basic. Sometimes they're interesting, and sometimes they're mundane. However, this group of people that work for municipality, they treat in my opinion, every service request with the utmost importance and respect to our people. And I want to commend them for that. Because if you sit up here long enough and work in the municipality long enough, there are lots of interesting subjects that come along, and interesting ideas, and interesting thoughts, and even interesting questions. But to watch the staff treat every one of them and the municipal employees with great respect really is impressive to me, and I'd like to thank them. Also, too, as you can see the flags flying on the memorial this month, it's Merchant Marine's birthday. And how appropriate for one of our members, or one of our founding members of the memorial, Bill Hosa, who, a World War II veteran, has passed away. And I'm sure Bill would be very excited, and we will miss him, the Merchant Marine flags flying so bright and blue. Also, too, this month was Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 2015. We have the sunrise service that starts at 7:50, Mr. Murray. Get that correct? Immediately following at 9 o'clock is the parade, and following that is the service in the cemetery. Our guest speaker this year is Army veteran and Bethel Park Police Chief Timothy O'Connor. I encourage everyone to come out and honor our veterans on this very beautiful Memorial Day. Thank you, Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Are there any additional items?
Mr. President.
Mr. Dixon.
I should have mentioned this when we had the EMS here, but a few years ago, Nora Helfer told me that most accidents occur within 2 miles of the house. So in order to keep my family safe, I moved. It worked out pretty well.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Still in Ward 7, I hope. Anyway, sick, whatever. Okay, we turn to Public Works and Maintenance, and Ms. Gibbons.
I'll call that. There are no agenda items.
Okay, hearing none additional items. Is there a
Move
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn? Second, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.